together to run a program called AI for Development in Africa. And the project wise that in running this program, they looked at 3 focus points. The first one is to build innovation centers, right? Innovation hubs, which does research, innovation research. And then we also have labs, which we are one of. So they have labs over the number of countries in Africa. And then we also have a policy strand, which tries to look at AI policy. Of course, all these labs pulse and policy pillars are all focusing on AI. And very importantly, as they look at AI, they want to ensure that the AI we are looking at is responsible, meaning that we are not doing AI, just for doing AI or just for advancement, but we want to ensure that whatever we are doing aligns with the human values, And so you see that at the center of a number of things that is being done across all these laptops and policy centers has inclusion as one of the very key, factor, right? And so for our lab, we are looking at 3 thematic areas. The first one looks at language transmission. If you want to have any advancement in our own environment, then whatever AI you are doing is you to understand our language. Otherwise, we will be left behind. And that has a lot of implication. Language conveys so many things. It conveys culture, it conveys values, and so many other things. So we are looking at language translation. And then we are also looking at having AI assist us in learning, right? So we are looking at personalized learning. We think that people can learn better if the learning is actually tailored to their requirements, And then the third one is trying to ensure that whatever we do, whether we are doing language translation or we are doing personalized learning, we want to make sure that we are not violating, any laws. We are not violating. We are doing it in an ethical way. You understand? We are not excluding anybody. We are not introducing bias. That at the end of the day, we are responsible. So we have a thought thematic area that ensures that everything we are doing conforms, with all these ethics. So that is basically what we do. We are the Nigeria lab is like a year and 10 months thereabouts. And we realize that being able to do this, the people that normally are usually excluded, we need to bring them. That's why we have programs like this. I need to also mention that before we started in Nigeria, there was a project still under IGRC and CEDA that we did. We were looking at it was a ball, and we were trying to see how we can have responsible AI in education. So we actually focused on education for that particular project. We managed the project and we had people from all over Africa participating. We had projects in Ethiopia, Kenya, South Africa, Senegal, both Anglophone and Francophone countries. And one of the projects that was done by somebody in Kenya and another in Nigeria was actually looking at how we can use AI to do sign language interpretation. Interestingly, so if I am doing sign language, I able to interpret it into English, for example, or vice versa. So that's one of the projects that some of the sub-grantees did at that time. So even for the first project, we'll be looking at how we can use people that are differently able, by using AI. And so when this opportunity came, we had no choice but to jump on it and say that yes, to build a system for anybody, you cannot build in Yoruba, they say you cannot cut a man's head behind this. But it has to be there, how can you build a system for people that are not involved, And so this that we are doing here is one of those efforts that we want we are embarking on to be able to understand the stakeholders. If you are doing AI and want to have people that are definitely included, then you have to be at the table, right? So I'm welcoming each and every one of us, to this forum today, and I look forward to a very fruitful discussion.
I think some of you might know already a bit about why we decided to have this meeting and talk to you guys, about building inclusive systems. So our conversation is going to be about artificial intelligence, and sometimes maybe more broadly, other technologies that you might have used. And why are we having that conversation? If you've heard anything about AI, you have heard people talking about the system is biased, it has bias, it's biased against women, it's biased against minorities, it's biased against certain groups, it may be biased against people with disabilities, and so on and so forth. And what causes that is because the society we live in, even prior to technology, and maybe some of you will agree with me, based on your experience, that our society has not always considered people who are different, right? We don't build houses because some people can't climb stairs. We just build for the majority. And we see that the same is happening with technology. Sometimes technologies are built because the majority can use it without even meaning to cause harm. We tend to overlook others who live in different realities, different circumstances, and those who have different needs. So part of our work is, of course, to ensure that as new technologies like artificial intelligence evolve, that we don't leave people who are different, who have different needs behind. We want to make sure, especially in our own work, and as much as possible extend this to the work, of other people, that as we are thinking of designing the systems, as we are thinking of building it, we are also thinking of people with different needs. And part of what we want to achieve today is to know what your experiences have been using different technologies. What, difficulties have you encountered, so that can help us. That can inform how we design systems, how we even design policies, to ensure that these systems are inclusive from the beginning. And it's not when it has been used. We now try and, consider people that we have already left behind. So we are leveraging onto the, overarching goal of the SDG, which is that we should leave no one behind. As we build the systems, we don't want people with disabilities to be left behind. We want to understand what their needs and experiences are, so that this can inform design and it can inform policy for more inclusive, more equitable systems, so that overall we can live in a more equal society. So that's the key objective. I hope it's been short and enough, to catch everything that we want to do. So I think I'll have to hand over. Okay. So we can start, and the first thing I think that we would like to talk about is your understanding and experiences of technology, any technology that we have used.
You can pass information that or the computer. So when it comes to technology, the internet is an wherever I go, whatever I do, connect to it back to technology. Our main issue is communication. That is the issue related to communication. So we can make use of communication when there's an interpreter available. But we can't have interpreters available all the time. So whenever we have interpreter, there must be means of communication. But by communication, we can all understand each other. So I sometimes I take up to go for trainings, studies on technology. So right now, website development, and also AI creator, I tell websites. For my own personal solutions, I built one application. That application, whenever we don't have available, we have a transcription application. Whenever you are speaking, to give you a transcription on our phones. But there are some errors whenever they are speaking. When we speak in English, if it doesn't match with the model or that application, it will give you one fault. So now I have people application that once you copy the raw text to that application, it will cleanse it and summarize it for you. So to have clear communication, so that application now in our entire community, that we do is something of it. So I was trying to make something now about it, but I am not on the paid plan. So I have to give up everything day by day. So we do malfunction for the users. And another thing I did, interpreters are everywhere. If you need an interpreter for the program, you start to make calls. Interpreter here. You won't know the exact solution where the interpreter is. I built another application that if you have an interpreter at a specific location, you just type that location there. It will give you details of the interpreter having that specific area. Then you can make or focus on call them to your program. So that is how technology can help people to get. And when it comes to communication, one-on-one communication, you say AI, when there is a quality information, you have an application right now. So we are collecting language word by word. And you can learn from them. When we say come, go. So when you put all this together, when you are video or direct communication one-on-one, when you speak, the application will give you a response in that language. And when you sign, the application will give you a response by voice. So that is how we are able to help ourselves in that community. That's why in that. But outside now, so looking for people to join our project, to sponsor our projects. Thank you very much.
My experience.
Good morning, everyone. My experience is special. Yeah. In the school, in the university, they teach us about this identity. Okay, identity in research. And if for example, I'm thinking, I'm looking at something, smelling, and I can't get it, I make some research on how to use technology, and secondly, some of the needs we have. Some of the needs we have as deaf. I want to see how to understand and bring inclusivity into our work so that we can develop and move forward, because we have been left behind by people, put aside the deaf, the visually impaired people, and other people aside. We are looking out to bring that from our experience, how we can move forward and bring mobility to the blind, help to make their mobility easier from experience. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so sorry for doing this. I'm just coming from this. So, my name is Vivian. I represent children with intellectual developmental disabilities in the state. Some fact present to our children struggle with writing and reading. So, if there are gadgets or AI I can develop to help with writing, probably why the teacher is dictating in the classroom, to go along. Just started the school in conjunction with the government because in the class for so many years there has not been a school meant for children with intellectual developmental disability. The general one, so many people, they just write school for children with special needs. Whereas a larger percentage of children with PWD and children with IDD, children with intellectual developmental disability. In fact, most of our children, I have one in our school now, has CP, and at the same time, has muscular dystrophy. A 7-year-old child, boy, at the same time, blind. So most of the children come down with multiple disabilities. And this is not pronounced to the public, to the community. That's why most of these parents abandon those children. In fact, to some extent, most of them resort to poison most of these children. And there are we don't have initiatives, we don't have things that have been developed to help. In fact, most of the caregivers, the carers, they come down with depression because once you have one in the family, every member of the family is affected.
Imagine that it's also the same. It gives me that benefit also. So how does that experience make you integrate more? Like, what is that unique thing that gives you to be able to say that okay, you are integrating into that you're not excluded? Like, what kind of unique benefit does it give you? For instance, I also use it, and maybe I don't have the experience that you have. Thank you.